Have you ever left a social gathering where you felt completely drained? Nothing bad happened. It was a perfectly fine evening. But you're driving home in your car and you feel flat. You feel heavy. You feel drained and you can't even explain it, but you just don't feel so great. Or perhaps you've had another experience where you've entered a room and you spent an evening with somebody who just made you feel really good. You felt expanded. You felt happy. You felt like yourself and you felt alive. Most of the time we've had these experiences, but we never really think about what we're feeling. We've never really took this information any further. We often might write it off and just think it means nothing. We just dismiss it, just rationalize it, and just move on. But perhaps we could look at these feelings as not just a reaction, but information. Information that our body is given to us at all times. In this video, I am going to talk about our two different emotions and how they are giving us real-time guidance, real-time information, and how we can use this moving forward in our life. I'm also going to speak about fear because oftentimes there's fear that comes as, is that a stop sign, or fear is that the sign that I need to grow and evolve? Because there's a big difference with fear and having a little resistance. So I'm also going to speak about that. I'm also going to talk about how you can use people and specific environments to understand what your body's trying to communicate as well, in real-time guidance as well. And also I'm just going to give you a very simple way you can just start to test this. Does not mean a big overhaul in your life, just a very simple way that you can tap into some of these emotions yourself. So if we have not met before, hello, my name is Krista. And I have been on a journey for the last 5 years plus now, where I've really started to reconnect with myself. I am able to tap into my inner knowing, my guidance, and allow it to guide my life on a day-to-day basis. And now I help women do the same, just really connect back with themselves and tap into their inner wisdom. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So we're going to talk about how emotions are navigation. All right, so I think this took me a little while to understand, to accept. It didn't happen right away, that's for sure. I grew up thinking that if something good happens, then I feel joy. I'm happy. Like this event happened. Oh, I'm happy. If somebody said something that was kind of mean or I didn't like it all, then I was angry and I felt sad. So I always thought that a situation happened and then my emotions arose as a response to what was happening. So if everything was good, then I was in a good mood. If things weren't so good, then I was not in a good mood. And that's what I believed for a long, long time. But I also started to see that the emotions that we are experiencing in our life, they're not just reactions, but they're directions. They're directions, they're guiding us. And there's two broad categories. One is that more expansive feeling, and one is more that contraction feeling. So let's get into this a little bit. So the expansive feelings, we'll talk about those first. So those make you feel, kind of alive. They make you feel good, feel joy, a bliss. You feel expanded. It just feels right. Something in your body is just, yeah, this feels like a green light almost, like I want to move in this direction. You can sense it, you can feel it in your body. Versus the contraction feeling feels a little bit, you feel like you're becoming a little bit smaller, you're dimming your light, not saying what you want, you feel kind of flat, you feel like you just want to kind of like roll up in a ball. So there's two different feelings, and it's really using this information, what we're feeling in our body, as a way of being able to move through our life. And if we think about it, when we are using a GPS, I think most of us have used a GPS by now. When we put our route in, if we do something different that the route doesn't tell us to do, it just recalculates the route. It doesn't shame us, it doesn't berate us, it doesn't make us feel small, it just recalculates the route. So if we're using our emotions as our navigation system, we can feel as we're moving down, yeah, this feels good, yep. And you maybe move in this direction, you talk to this person, you're in this environment, and something doesn't feel right to you. Something feels like a little bit of a little bit of a roadblock, a little bit of an orange or red light. That again is guidance, but it's not saying no per se. It's just, okay, let's reevaluate, let's redirect. So you can use those real-time emotions as a way of moving throughout your life. And I have noticed this personally, and I've become a lot more adept at it. And I like last night I was out somewhere with new people in a new environment, and I was driving home and I felt great. I felt expansive, like I had a really nice time, and I felt energized. I felt good. Versus about 4 days ago, I was in a different environment, and even during the event, I wasn't feeling great. I wanted to go home. I was thinking, oh, is this ever going to end? And I left that evening just feeling like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that again. Like, it was very clear to me. So I've had two different examples with, different groups, different situations. And it was very clear what I was feeling. So now I use that information. It's not woo-woo, it's wisdom. And I choose to use that information. So I just want you to be aware that your body is always speaking to you. It's guiding you. And to perhaps maybe use your emotions as a way of real-time guidance. So that would be the first thing I want to share with you today. And again, this is just, it's similar to what I said, like, notice your environments. When you leave a specific place, a specific person, how do you feel? Just use that. And I'm not saying we need to distance or cancel everybody where we don't feel good, because sometimes I realize that's not always possible, or it's not always possible, and I understand that. But I would invite you or ask you to look at, when you start to do this and you start to see patterns, the more you do this, you start to see patterns, at least you can consciously choose where you spend your time, who you spend your time with, and you can manage that a little bit more than just kind of walking into every situation and having no idea and just doing it because you feel like you should and you've always done it and you've been on autopilot. We want to be more conscious, more aware of what our body's speaking to us, how our body's speaking to us, and then we can make decisions based on that. So again, I'm not asking you to rehaul your life, but your body knows. Your body knows before your mind does. And it's always been speaking to you from the time you were like a little baby, and it's always speaking to you. We've just overridden it for many years. We've never been taught to understand what it's saying to us. So use the people in your life, the environments in your life, just as a little test. And I will say, sometimes when you're in the middle of a situation, because you're maybe engaged and you're talking, you don't have the time in that moment. And I understand if you're in the situation. But when you leave, if you're, going home, or you're in the car, or you give yourself 10, 20, 30 seconds just to kind of like, okay, take a deep breath. You can put your hand on your heart, on your belly, whatever works, or you don't have to do that too. But just, get in touch with your body, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, okay, do I feel contracted right now, or do I feel energized right now? And just notice what your body is saying to you. And that's it. Do I feel drained? Do I feel excited? Two simple questions that you can ask yourself. And then you have real-time information. And then you're learning to decipher what you do with that information as well too. All right. So I want to also talk about fear, because there's two different types of fear. And I have definitely experienced this, where I didn't understand this initially. I used to think fear resistance was a hard no, stop sign. Because the last few years, I did have a lot of resistance towards just some things. And I just felt it meant that it was a no. But over time, I have looked at this much differently. I see two different types of fear. There's a fear that is a hard no. It leaves you, it's like a door has closed. It's a no. There's no expansion to it at all. It just feels like someone has shut the door and it's a hard no. Versus the type of fear that I've often experienced where it's asking me, inviting me to do something different. I feel the fear. I feel the resistance, but yet it feels expansive. It feels a little bit alive. It feels like it's guiding me. Although I have the fear, I have the resistance, but it feels expansive. It feels like go down this road. So there is a difference between the two types of fear. So being able to discern the difference is a great thing to be able to do. So just be aware of that. If this is new, just start to notice, okay, is this a fear that is like a shut the door, or is this a fear that's like, I kind of want this, but I'm a little bit scared. And there's a difference that way too. So yeah, that's what I really want to guide you before. It's starting to notice these subtle cues, these subtle ways that our body speaks to us, and not overriding it and not just diminishing it or thinking it means nothing, or just letting it go, letting just the information go. We really want to tune into what our body's saying to us, what our body's speaking to us. And then we have the power to choose, to choose how we spend our time. And because if we do this repeatedly over and over and over again, it's leading us on a certain path, one way or the other. And ultimately, your body's guiding you towards what feels best for you. So really being aware of that is great. You have everything you need. You've always had everything you need in your body. We were often raised to believe that others knew best, that everybody else was making decisions for us. The expert knew best. Our parents knew best always. The teachers, everyone knew best. And we've outsourced a lot of this, and we've just never questioned it before because we were never given the tools or the awareness to decide. But your body has always been speaking to you, and you have everything that you need. And I just want you to understand that and take that in, because again, our bodies, our emotions are always speaking to us. If you would like some first steps into being able to really reconnect with your inner guidance, your inner wisdom, I have in the description down below, you can check it out. I have a guided audio practice that I think might help you if you're new to this work and wanting to really reconnect back with yourself. You can check that out and download that and listen to that, because I think it's a wonderful way to start to hear the whispers. We're going to let go of some of the noise, the opinions of everybody else, and really tap back into ourselves and hear what it's trying to speak to you. So that would be a great first step for you if you are so inclined to. You can check that out. Let me know in the comments too if using your emotions as a GPS is a new thought for you, is something you've never thought of before, and how it feels. Does it feel interesting, or does it not feel so interesting? I'm curious. You can share in the comments below. I read every single one of them, and I would love to know your feedback on that as well. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening, and I wish you all a lovely day. Take care. Bye-bye.